بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله الذي يجيبني حين أناديه ويستر علي كل عورة وأنا أعصيه ويعظم النعمة علي فلا أجازيه. نحمده ونسبحه ونقدسه على آلائه ونعمائه، ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، إلها واحدا أحدا فردا صمدا قيوما. نؤمن له بالربوبية ونقر له بالعبودية. من يهدي الله فهو المهتدي، ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. ونشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله، أرسله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك وترحم على محمد وآل محمد كأفضل ما صليت وسلمت وباركت وترحمت على إبراهيم وآل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. وصل اللهم وسلم على جميع الأنبياء والمرسلين والأوصياء والصديقين والصالحين والشهداء والصالحين وعترة نبيك الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المنتجبين، وعلى الأخيار من صحابته المؤمنين ومن تبعهم بإحسان وإيمان إلى يوم الدين. عباد الله، أوصيكم وأوصي نفسي بتقوى الله ولزوم أمره. قال ربنا العزيز في كتابه الكريم: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم، بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والبلد الطيب يخرج نباته بإذن ربه والذي خبث لا يخرج إلا نكدا كذلك نصرف الآيات لقوم يشكرون. صدق الله العلي العظيم. Ulama al-Akhlaq, the ethicists and psychologists, anthropologists, psychologists, they all contend that the environment where we live in it has a big impact on shaping our character, our personality, our ideas, our thoughts. And it's very difficult for a person to escape this impact and this influence of his surrounding environment. And this is a fact mentioned in the Quran. وَالْبَلَدُ الطَّيِّبِ in Surah Al-A'raf, chapter number 7, verse number 58. وَالْبَلَدُ الطَّيِّبِ يَخْرُجُ نَبَاتُهُ بِإِذْنِ رَبِّهِ. As for the pure land, its vegetation, its produce springs forth abundantly and purely, because the land is pure, so the produce also is going to be pure. وَالْبَلَدُ الطَّيِّبُ يَخْرُجُ نَبَاتُهُ بِإِذْنِ رَبِّهِ وَالَّذِي خَبُث. As for the one that is wicked and evil and corrupt, وَالَّذِي خَبُث, that land also would produce nothing but wickedness and evil produce. وَالَّذِي خَبُثَ لَا يَخْرُجُ إِلَّا نَكِدًا. Its vegetation, its herbage and produce is going to be bad, contaminated and corrupt. This is the result of the environment on the person. And the environment means, my friends, first of all, his immediate family, his parents, his siblings, sometimes his cousins, his extended family members, his friends, the neighborhood, the school, the community, and even the country and the culture. They all contribute into shaping our character, into shaping our ideas, our views, our manners, our behavior. Maybe sometimes you have noticed this yourself, that two brothers, two siblings from one father and one mother, but they have two different characters and two different cultures, two different ideas, vastly different from one another. And then you realize that each one lives in a certain neighborhood or a certain country or culture. Definitely that culture and that country is going to impose, it's going to impose its marks, deep marks on the people. Maybe not within few months, but a few years, especially on the young generation. In particular on the young generation. Maybe if the elderly can resist, but the young generation cannot resist. They melt, they assimilate. They call it assimilation here. Assimilation. For those who come to America, the parents, it takes them ages to assimilate with this culture, but you look at the children, they barely speak English. After 6 months, after 1 year, 2 years, they are completely American, Americanized. And this is a fact. We cannot resist this. So what is the solution? Allah says, وَالْبَلَدُ الطَّيِّبُ يَخْرُجُ نَبَاتُهُ بِإِذْنِ رَبِّهِ. We have a responsibility. We as parents having children, we have a big responsibility. It is us that we decide whether my son wants to be a good Muslim or a bad Muslim, a committed Muslim or someone who does not know anything about his Islam. It's up to me as a father. It's up to you as a mother. We the parents, we play a major role in our children's life. We determine the future for them. Before the age of 15, maybe, we determine their future for them. We decide when you take him to this place or that place, this congregation or that congregation. Or if you choose not to take him to other places. Or if you choose to abandon them, it's up to us. We decide. Before the age of 15 in this country, we are the decision makers for our children. We contribute into shaping their character and their behavior and their future. After that, many parents complain that my son does not listen to me. My son does not even communicate with me. I don't see my son. I don't see my daughter. They hardly at home. I'm trying to have some discussion with them. I'm trying to be good to them. I'm trying to be dutiful to them. I'm trying to bring them to the right path. I'm trying to encourage them to go to the mosque and to the religious session, but they never listen to me. Of course they don't listen to you after the age of 15. Because you did not do well before they get to that age. You didn't do well. You neglected them before that age. Then after that age, it is very hard to start this intimate and sincere and real friendship and companionship between parents and children. It's too late if you want to begin at that age. Too late. The journey begins when they are little, when you can influence them. The friendship begins way before they get to their teens. وَالْبَلَدُ الطَّيِّبُ يَخْرُجُ نَبَاتُهُ بِإِذْنِ رَبِّهِ. So we have to choose that safe environment for them. I know some parents in this country, here in America, here in Southern California. Some parents, they drive 1 hour, sometimes more than an hour, to get their kids to an Islamic school, to Saturday school, to Sunday school, to an Islamic session, so they learn something. Yes, this is a big sacrifice, but it is worth it. It is worth it. You may not notice the result immediately, but over years, you're going to see the result. You're going to see in the type of behavior that your children are going to display. We're going to see that. It is worth it. Don't get tired of that. Don't say, I've been taking them here and there and nothing happened. It happens in the future. It takes place. We need to be patient. So we have to choose the right environment for them, the right school, the right weekend school, the right masjid for them. Many parents, they relocated their homes to be close to a certain Islamic center, certain Islamic community. They said it is worth it. It is worth it. To be close to this masjid, I need my kids to be involved in the activities of this masjid, the Islamic center. They feel the responsibility. And this is another sacrifice which is really worth it. It is worth it. And then I have seen others who said, no, not just moving to an Islamic center or to Islamic community. I need to move to another country. For the sake of the spiritual health, mental health, social health of my children, I have to make this a huge move from one continent into another, from one country into another. I need to protect them. I think in that country, the environment is much safer and healthier in terms of Islamic teachings. And they do this move, and it is worth it. So we have to shield them and protect them, and we have to provide them with the safe food, my brothers and sisters. When it comes to the physical food, we give them the best. But when it comes to the intellectual, spiritual food, many of us, unfortunately, we fail in providing them with the food that they deserve. وَالْبَلَدُ الطَّيِّبُ يَخْرُجُ نَبَاتُهُ بِإِذْنِ رَبِّهِ. The same thing with the friends. I think before the age of 15, we can interfere in their life by choosing them, by choosing for them the right, responsible friends around them. Maybe before the age of 15, we can prevent them from going and socializing with the wrong people. Maybe we can do that, maybe. But after that, it's very difficult. After that, their friends are going to take the lead. Their friends are going to influence them more than the parents do. And the same thing with family members. Yes, in Islam it is very important to reach out to your extended family members, Silatul Rahim. But if some of them are corrupt, some of them are contagious, then I have to do something to protect. Here, not seeing them is more important than mingling with them and corrupting myself and my children and my family. Maybe we can maintain some relationship from far, greeting them. But if you know that their children, some of them they do drugs, some of them they don't have Islamic behavior or dis-Islamic behavior that goes against Islam, then I cannot take my kids on account that this is Salatul Rahim, this is a wedding, it's a family issues, it's very important, no, it's not. It's not. You have to do everything possible to protect your children. The family is important when it helps you to get closer to God. But that family would not be that important if it does exactly the opposite, takes you away from God, and they're going to influence your own children in a bad way. Then forget about Salatul Rahim here. Forget about it. This is not Silat al-Rahim anymore. This is the corruption of Rahim. وَالْبَلَدُ الطَّيِّبِ. Let me conclude with one of the sayings of Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wassalam, vis-a-vis the right environment where you have to live, where you must live in a place to protect yourself and your family members, and try to avoid the corrupt places. Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wassalam says, لِلْحَارِثِ الْحَمْدَانِ. Hamdan is different from Hamadan. Hamadan is a city in Iran. Hamdan is a name of a tribe in Iraq. So don't mix up between them. Al-Harithul Hamdani, the one who was the disciple of Imam Ali. He's not from Hamadan. Maybe he's from Qazwin or Tabriz, I don't know. Amir al-Mu'mineen says to this man, he says to him, وَاسْكُنِ الْأَمْصَارَ الْعِظَامِ. Try to live, dwell in cities. Masr means city. Amsar, cities. In cities that are great in terms of religiosity, in terms of commitment to faith. وَاسْكُنِ الْأَمْصَارَ الْعِظَامِ فَإِنَّهَا جِمَاعُ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. Because it is the center, the togetherness. Jima' here means the togetherness, the gathering of the Muslims, of some good Muslim people. So there are Islamic activities in them, religious activities, intellectual activities. Wahdar, and be careful and stay away. Wahdar manazil al-ghafla, to stay in places or neighborhoods that encourages forgetfulness from what? From religion, from God. Surrounded by all sorts of entertainments, nightclubs, and other places of corruption. You hear nothing but loud music. You see nothing but naked women. How can your son, your daughter get close to Allah in such an environment? How can he do? He cannot. So wahdar manazil al-ghafla. Stay away from such places. Manazil al-ghaflati wa al-jafa. Jafa here means worthlessness. Places that are unworthy of you, unworthy of your character as a Muslim, as someone committed. Because definitely you're going to be touched, you're going to be affected by such environment. Even if you close your eyes and ears and try to mind your way, definitely you, yourself, your family, your children are going to be affected by it. So try to avoid them altogether. This is why here in America we have to think of living in neighborhoods that are ethical. I cannot say all of them Islamic. Maybe this is too far for us to achieve. But at least neighborhoods that are ethical, that they know some sort of discipline and conservatism. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، نحمده ونسبحه ونقدسه على آلائه ونعمائه، ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأن سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك وترحم على محمد وآل محمد كأفضل ما صليت وسلمت وباركت وترحمت على إبراهيم وآل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. وصل اللهم وسلم على جميع الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى عترة نبيك الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين علي أمير المؤمنين وقائد الغر المحجلين، وعلى البضعة الطاهرة فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين، وعلى سبطي نبي الرحمة وسيدي شباب أهل الجنة الحسن والحسين عليهما السلام، وعلى علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والخلف الهادي المهدي، عجل الله تعالى فرجه وسهل مخرجه وجعلنا من أنصاره وأعوانه. عباد الله، أوصيكم وأوصي نفسي المقصرة بتقوى الله ولزوم أمره.